This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KNBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Sports postcasts we do. We also do the Locked On Warriors and Locked On 49ers postcast as well. But tonight, man, oh my God, what a win by the Giants. A thrilling walk-off win against the Phillies as Pat Bailey, of all people, swats an inside the park 3-run home run to win this and walk this one off the bricks in right field, and the ball careened off the wall and rolled all the way into left center, past the center fielder for the Phillies. Robbie Ray also was great tonight, only gave up 1 run over 5 2/3 innings pitched, and with the win, the Giants take the series from the Phillies and set them up to try for the sweep tomorrow. What a huge series win for the Giants. We'll break it all down, but first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed. However you're tuning in, we appreciate it. And make sure to check out the Locked On Giants daily show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Ben Kaspick, always does a great job. And oh my God, the air was so thick in Oracle Park tonight. Like, it felt like the weight of all the pressure of the top of the order just struggling all night long, and the struggles with runners in scoring position was just going to be too much for this team to overcome. And for Pat Bailey, of all people, who is having one of the worst offensive seasons of his entire career, dude's batting under 200. And for him to deliver the way he did tonight, he had 2 hits and obviously those 3 RBIs on that one swing of the bat, that inside the park home run, that has got to be the single most wild thing I have ever seen in my entire life as a Giants fan. Like, that was bonkers. I'm sitting here screaming in my apartment, watching this thing roll and roll and roll for what felt like forever. And for Brandon Marsh and the Phillies, that it must have felt just agonizing watching that ball continue to roll after it smacked off the bricks in right center field. And man, if you Bruce Bochy used to say this all the time, you hit a ball 400 plus feet in Major League Baseball, you should get a home run. Well, Pat Bailey hit that one 414 feet and did not get out. Hit the very top of the bricks, and just the angle at which it hit those bricks, just blew by Brandon Marsh in center field. He was trying to back up the play, but the ball, like, it rolled a little bit in the dirt and just on the edge of the outfield, all the way past that distance marker in dead center, almost into left center field. Like, that ball just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. And Pat Bailey unhitches the trailer, motors all the way around first, second, third base, gets home, and didn't even need to slide. Like, he was safe by a mile. The throw wasn't even close, completely offline, way late. I cannot believe what I just saw. This is the first walk-off home run for the Giants, walk-off inside the park home run for the Giants since 2013 when Angel Pagan did it. And it's the first catcher in Major League Baseball with a walk-off inside the park home run in more than 40 years. Bob Brenly in 1984 was the last guy to do to accomplish such a feat as a catcher. And for the Giants, it's their 19th 2-run comeback of the season. That's 4 more than anyone else in all of Major League Baseball. This team, we can officially say that the devil magic is back. And if you haven't been tuning into the show, we coined it devil magic because Barstool Sports did earlier, and I just kind of thought it was funny. They did it after the Elliot Ramos Little League inside the park walk-off home run, and we've just been rolling with it since. And it feels like a little bit of devil magic for the Giants in that situation, because how the hell else could you have predicted this was going to happen? I mean, this was just absolutely bonkers. Let's go ahead and get just right now, right off the rip, give Pat Bailey today's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And this is a no-brainer. Obviously, who else were we going to give it to? Pat Bailey drilled that 93.9 mile an hour four-seamer that was right down Main Street, right down the middle, and he turned on that ball, crushed it, man. 103 mile an hour smack off the bat. Just Pat Bailey's second home run of the season. He has just as many inside the park home runs as he does over the fence home runs in the season. That is really ridiculous. But just the way that we got there was pretty incredible for the Giants, because after falling short time and time and time again, they were 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position coming into that ninth inning, the bottom of the ninth. And Casey Schmidt got things going in that ninth inning with a big hit to start it, and that's our turning point for today's game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And the turning point for me in this game was the top of the ninth. Casey Schmidt leading off, ropes a double down the left field line, and that set the tone for the rest of the Giants in that inning, because you got to start believing that you're going to win this game some way or another. And with the way that the Giants were hitting tonight, weren't hitting tonight, rather, you kind of needed some kind of spark, something to get you going. And Schmidt ripped that one down the left field line. Jung-Hoo Lee then pops out to Alec Baum, who damn near dropped the ball in the middle of the infield. That would have been pretty hilarious if you dropped that one. That's a play that you should make in any league, little league, slow pitch softball. You should make that catch 100 times out of 100 times. And Alec Baum damn near dropped it. Then Wilmer Flores comes up and laces a single into center field. Casey Schmidt is held at third on the play, and I thought that was the right decision, because we have seen the Giants run into so many outs at third base and home, and you needed a couple runs to tie this one up. So Casey Schmidt being held there was a very, very, very good decision. We've talked all season long about Williams and his bad decisions to send guys in bad situations or not send guys in other situations. As the third base coach, we got to give him some credit here for not making Casey Schmidt run into that out, which set up the situation for Pat Bailey with one out to smack that walk-off inside the park 3-run bomb off of Levi's landing. And I just can't believe how far that ball rolled. I mean, go back and watch that replay. Ball rolled like damn near 100 plus feet. Like, it just kept going and going and going and going. I didn't think that thing was ever going to stop. I thought that was going to go all the way into left field. It just kept rolling. I mean, he hit that thing so hard off the bricks. I am juiced, man. This is such a big win for this Giants team. This team was sputtering not that long ago. You remember when they got swept by the Marlins and then they lost the series to the White Sox? That wasn't that long ago, but the way the team's playing now feels like an eternity ago. And even though they didn't have great games today, or he didn't have a great game today, Matt Chapman being back with this team, I think just changes your belief in yourself. Like with Willy Adames playing the way that he's been playing lately, even though he did not have a good game tonight at all, and Matt Chapman, who also didn't have a good game tonight at all, but just with those two, their presence in the lineup being as impactful as it is, I think it changes the belief of the rest of this team. They believe that they are never going to be out of a game. This team, when it's whole, this offense, it has just enough life in it that you can never really fully count them out. And that's what you saw tonight. A team that was never going to say die, that was never going to throw in the towel, that were never going to quit. And it was another torture win, another ha laugher, as Mike Krukow likes to say. Another one-run win for the Giants. They improved to 51-42 on the season. And man, just a thrilling win. I am way more juiced than I should be for a Tuesday night right now. But and you got to love that they had they tapped into some of that old City Connect magic. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can see I'm wearing the OG City Connect hoodie with the new City Connect hat. So I was feeling the vibes tonight, man. I had to get the particles out into the air. And with the win tonight, as my guy LD just mentioned in the chat, it gives them the opportunity for the sweep tomorrow. And if they can sweep the Phillies going into the series against the Dodgers, man, that is just, I can't think of a better situation for the Giants to find themselves in, because with the win tonight, you have to believe. Like, nobody on this team is sitting there thinking that the Dodgers are a significantly better team than they are. Everybody on this Giants team right now is thinking, we can beat anybody that we face, any team at all. But with this team being healthy, with the lineup being healthy and hitting the way it is, with Robbie Ray pitching the way he's been pitching, with Logan Webb pitching the way he's been pitching, Landon Roop has been low-key really solid for the Giants too. Justin Verlander, got to figure it out. Hayden Birdsong, up and down lately. Those are question marks. But everything else has been so good for the Giants in this last week that you couldn't ask to be in a better position going into the last series before the All-Star break. And it's a huge one. It's against the Dodgers. So what a way for the Giants to bounce back from that just abysmal stretch where they got swept by the Marlins and lost a series to the White Sox. You got to credit this team for not quitting and not dying and not falling off the cliff where, I mean, I feel like they got right up to the edge of that cliff and were just staring into the abyss. And somehow, some way, they were able to pull themselves back and figure out a way to get back on track. And the momentum right now is building day by day. It's a snowball effect in both directions, right? You're losing a lot of games. The negative momentum starts to build. You start winning games like this, and the positive momentum continues and to build and build and build. This was a phenomenal win for the Giants, not just for the entertainment factor, but for the morale. Like, did you see the way that the entire team just poured out of the dugout for Pat Bailey? And man, he was so funny on the postgame. Pat Bailey could not catch his breath to answer a question. He said that he had never run that hard in his entire life. He said that he never thought that he would hit an inside the park home run ever in his life. It's the first time he's done it. And oh my God, I cannot believe that of all people, Pat Bailey was the guy to deliver this walk-off win. Don't forget, Pat Bailey did have a walk-off last year on Pat Bailey bobblehead day on 420. You know, Pat Bailey loves a 420, and that was just I'm just blown away by what I saw. There is no in-depth analysis that I can offer you other than holy blank and S. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot believe what I just saw. This was the most entertaining Giants game that I have witnessed in a long time. Actually, I had a friend who went tonight. He left in the 8th inning. That's why you don't leave games early, man. That's why you don't leave games early. We got a lot more to get into today. We got to talk about what you'll be talking about after this one, and we got to break down some Robbie Ray pitching. He had a pretty good day, even though he didn't last as long as you would have liked him to. The bullpen wasn't that bad, even though Bivens got touched up a little bit. We'll get into all that next on the Locked On Giants Postcast. Today's show is sponsored by FanDuel. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. And obviously, I've been telling you guys the same bet every single night. I've been telling you, bet on the opposing starting pitcher, the over for their strikeouts. Tonight didn't really work out. Taijuan Walker only struck out 3 Giants, which was pretty good. But unfortunately for the Giants, they managed to strike out 5 more times against the bullpen in this game. They hit that strikeout total. It just wasn't against the starter. So I do want to keep rolling with this bet. As much as this offense has given me some hope and some belief in them, they still are going to strike out a hell of a lot. So continue to roll with betting opposing pitcher overs on strikeouts against the Giants. They're going to continue to strike out. And if you're new to FanDuel, now is the perfect time to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. And today's show is sponsored by OpenPhone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Nobody wants that. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait for him to call you back? No, you called the second one. And if they didn't answer, you're calling a third. That's why having a reliable business line is so important. That's why you need OpenPhone. OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. And if you're used to juggling multiple phones just to keep business and personal calls separate, OpenPhone solves that instantly. Your whole team can share just one number and respond to customers in a shared inbox. No more mass emails that say who's handling this and all sorts of confusion. And the AI agent handles after hours calls, answers common questions, and captures leads, so I never miss a customer again. OpenPhone is offering Locked On Giants listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's OpenPhone.com/LockedOnMLB. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E. Engel, and today, just a bonkers win for the Giants. Pat Bailey, the hero, and we already broke down all those heroics. I was ready to go to talk about all the disappointing moments the Giants had in today's game earlier on, with all the missed opportunities they had in the 8th inning, in the 5th inning, in the 2nd inning, like all the opportunities the Giants had to put runs on the board. And all that now doesn't matter. It's all a moot point because the Giants delivered when it mattered most. Pat Bailey delivers the big hit. Casey Schmidt really set the table with that leadoff double. Wilmer Flores laced a single up the middle. He's been clutch all year when you've needed him to be. And obviously, Pat Bailey delivered. But we wouldn't have had that opportunity if Robbie Ray wasn't as good as he was tonight. And I know he only went 5 2/3, and it took him 99 pitches to get through it. But overall, Robbie Ray continued to do what Robbie Ray does. He had an all-star caliber start again tonight. The whiff rate was a little bit lower than you normally see, only about a 22% whiff rate across all of his pitches. The four-seamer only a 19% whiff rate at all of his pitches. So the swing and miss stuff just wasn't really there. He only had 12 swing and misses all night long. But it didn't matter. Robbie Ray was able to induce some soft contact pretty much all night. Only gave up an average exit velo of 89.8 miles an hour. That's lower than his average on the season. And he pitched really well. He pitched around traffic on bases, did give up 4 hits and a couple walks. But as I said, he did what he needed to do, and he continued to show why he is going to be an all-star this year. Now, he might not get to pitch in the all-star game because he's going to start against the Dodgers. That's when his next start is going to come, and he probably won't be fresh for the all-star game. But Bob Melvin did mention that maybe if Robbie Ray is ineligible to pitch on the all-star game, like on the day of the all-star game, maybe you get a Tyler Rogers that slides in there. So you still have some hope that the Giants could have 4 representatives at the All-Star game. And I think that they would deserve it with the way that this pitching staff has delivered, the way this bullpen has been all season long. Tyler Rogers is more than deserving to be a part of that celebration. He's had a great season. Not a lock that he would be the sub, but obviously he would be my pick. And I hope he'd be your pick too for the fill-in for Robbie Ray if he's not able to start or pitch in that All-Star game. I don't think he would have been in contention to start that game at all. That's obviously going to be Paul Skeens. However, great night from Robbie Ray to keep the Giants in this game. But it wasn't just him. The bullpen overall, pretty solid. There was the issue with the Spencer Bivens home run, but Kyle Schwarber, I mean, it wasn't a bad pitch. It was a changeup that was low in the zone. It was damn near out of the zone. It did catch a lot of the plate. It was pretty much right down the middle, just below the knees. And Kyle Schwarber showed you tonight that he's a damn good low ball hitter. He smacked that ball, just absolutely annihilated it out into McCovey Cove, 400 plus feet, 110 miles an hour off the bat. He launched that baseball. He also went down and swatted a double on a pitch that was completely out of the zone, a slider tailing away from him, and he leans over, just completely reaches for it, off balance swing, but somehow just keeps those hands strong and drills a double off the wall into left center field, going the opposite way for him. And he did that in the 8th inning. So you see what he can do with those low pitches, even pitches that are out of the zone. He's a huge power hitter. We know this about Kyle Schwarber. He also stole a base in today's game. He's a guy who just he frustrates me in the sense of I just wish the Giants had a guy like that. Just once, I would like for that kind of big bopper to be in the middle of the order for the Giants, so they didn't have to win every game by 1 run. But hey, if that's the guy who's going to get you, I'll live with it, man. And Spencer Bivens, I mean, the velo was up tonight across the board. He threw 6 different pitches tonight. He was mixing and matching all of them, and he looked pretty good, except for that home run. And like I said, it wasn't a bad pitch. So I'm not going to rip Spencer Bivens for giving up that homer. And the Giants also had several other arms pitched tonight. Tristan Beck had a nice inning. He did give up 2 hits, but danced around him, got out of it unharmed. Scott Alexander was able to come in and pitch 2/3 of an inning and got in a little bit of trouble after he issued a walk and a hit. And then Ryan Walker came in to get the final out of the inning very, very quick. I think Ryan Walker only threw 1 pitch tonight. So a very, very, very efficient inning for Ryan Walker. Yeah, he threw 1 pitch, came in for 1 pitch and got the out and got out of the inning for the Giants. Kept that deficit at just 2 runs, which was a huge moment for the Giants. Key thing that happened for the Phillies. They brought their closer in the bottom of the 8th inning, or in the top of the 8th inning, excuse me. And that, I think, threw off Romano. I mean, Jordan Romano has been very good. He's had a rough year, but he's been very good throughout his career. And you don't want him to be in that spot where he's doing his normal thing. He just rolls into what he's comfortable with. The Giants put him in an uncomfortable situation, or force the Phillies rather to put him in an uncomfortable situation. And they got it done. And man, I'm just so juiced with the way the Giants won this game. They did it in all phases. They hit when they needed to, even though it came very late in the game when they finally delivered some of those clutch hits. As I said, they entered that inning just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Well, they finished the game 3 for 10, which is a 300 batting average. I will take that. I will absolutely take that with runners in scoring position any day of the week with this Giants team. They left 7 men on base, but hey, you look at what the Phillies did. 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and they stranded 10. I mean, the Giants did a great job of stranding runners all night long, and this is a huge win. As I said, this is a massive momentum morale booster that the Giants can carry into tomorrow's game and hopefully come up with the sweep, which will only add to the momentum before you face the damn Smurfs. And I swear to God, if Oracle Park looks like Chavez Latrine North, I'm going to be very angry tomorrow or during the Dodgers series. I'm going to be getting out to a couple of those games. Hopefully you guys are too. Do your part as a Giants fan. Get out to the damn yard. Cheer on the Giants. Don't let Dodgers fans take up the seats that Giants fans should be putting their butts in. So make sure you get out to a game against the Dodgers. And I really do think the Giants have a chance for revenge to take this series against the Dodgers as well. Let's make it 3 series wins in a row going into the All-Star break, and let's sweep the damn Phillies. This is such a good win for the Giants, man. I have not felt this good about this team all season long, and it was not that long ago that we were thinking they might fall off a cliff. And man, that is why you cannot overreact in a 162 game season with a baseball team. Like you have to let it play out. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's not about how you play in May. It's not about how you play in June. It's about how you finish out the season and the totality of it all. So the Giants, great win today. Patrick Bailey, I salute to you, sir. That was just an amazing, amazing play. And that's got to be the most exciting win that I have seen all season long. It's all the time that we got for you guys today. I see all of you in the chat, and there's a lot of you today. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, all our everydayers. Shout out to each and every one of you, and wow, what a win for the Giants. Make sure you're tuning in tomorrow when hopefully the Giants are able to sweep the Phillies. We'll be coming to you live afterwards, as we always do. It's all the time that we got on the Locked On Giants Postcast. We'll see you next time. Peace.